Welcome back guys to Why Create, where I make Game of Thrones family trees, and this time it's a bit different. For one, there are a few named members of House Blacfyre, but what separates this video from my others is this house is extinct. Not a single living male in this family tree is alive at the current time of the story. If you read or watch a lot of Game of Thrones theories, House Blacfyre should be a name you know very well. There's a lot of people who believe that characters in the story are descendants of this family through the female line. And usually, that wouldn't really matter, but House Blackfyre happens to be a branch family of House Targaryen. You guys should know by now that anyone with Targaryen DNA instantly makes them cool. Before I talk about the founder, I think I should give a brief bio of his father, King Aegon Targaryen IV. All you subscribers know I prefer to call him by his nickname, Aegon the Unworthy. He was a terrible king and also extremely fat. That pretty much sums up his life. Aegon the Unworthy was married to his sister Nerys, but was as faithful as Robert Baratheon. His sister wife, they had two children, Daeron II and Daenerys. But with other women, he had 13 bastards. One of these bastards was Daemon Waters, a baby born in strange circumstances. His mother was Daena Targaryen, Aegon the Unworthy's cousin. Daena and her two sisters were kept imprisoned within an area of the Red Keep called the Maiden Vault for 10 years. Because their brother, the religious nut Baelor the Blessed, didn't want anyone, including himself, to be tempted by their beauty. Well, Daena was nicknamed the Defiant, and would try and sneak out whenever she had the chance. During her imprisonment, she got pregnant. She refused to name the father even after Daemon Waters was born. He was raised in the Red Keep and was schooled and taught to fight like he was a true Targaryen. On Daemon's 12th birthday, he entered a tourney melee for squires and won. Aegon the Unworthy announced Daemon as his son and knighted him for his victory. He took it a step further and gave his bastard son the family Valyrian sword, Blackfyre, which has passed down from king to heir since Aegon the Conqueror. Daemon was also awarded lands and other honors, which was a huge slap in the face to his firstborn son, Daeron, who wasn't even a bastard. From then on, Daemon took the name Blackfyre, creating House Blacfyre. His sigil was just a Targaryen sigil with reversed colors. Aegon and his son Prince Daeron didn't have a very good relationship. Daeron would protest his father's stupid decisions, and Aegon would threaten to take away his title as heir. Aegon was also sort of responsible for Daeron's mother Nerys' death. She was a small and fragile person, and childbirth was a huge risk for her. When maesters warned that another attempt would kill her, Aegon made her continue what he called her duty as his wife until she actually did die during another childbirth. Aegon also didn't have a very good relationship with his sister wife. The whole realm knew that Nerys and her other brother, Aemon the Dragon Knight, were the ones who were truly in love. Aemon was a man of honor who was Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, but still there were rumors that he was the true father of Daeron and not Aegon. With Daemon Blackfyre given the Valyrian sword Blackfyre, and the rumors Daeron not being Aegon's son, people began looking at Daemon as the true heir. Daemon, however, ignored all of this. Everything became a lot worse when Aegon the Unworthy displayed how unworthy he truly was. His body was rotting and had flesh worms because of his obesity, and on his deathbed, he legitimized all of his bastards. Daeron would still become king since the rumors were not proven, but many lords would side with Daemon. Even after Aegon's death, Daemon Blackfyre remained loyal to his half-brother. At some point, Daemon fell in love with King Daeron II's sister and his half-sister, Daenerys. It's believed the feelings were mutual. But to bring Dorne into the Seven Kingdoms, it was decided Daenerys would marry the Martell prince. Daemon had already been arranged to marry Rowan of Tyrosh by his father before his death, but it was Daeron who made sure that it happened. Still, Daemon remained loyal. Daeron even gave his half-brother some land near the Blackwater and rights to raise a castle on his wedding day. There were many attempts to conquer Dorne since Aegon started this conquest, but it was only until a treaty was made and not war for them to be finally a part of the Seven Kingdoms. The problem was the Dornish lords were granted more rights and relaxed laws compared to the others in Westeros. Other lords were unhappy and believed King Daeron was too influenced by his Dornish wife and other Dornishmen in court. So more seeked Daemon Blackfyre. It wasn't until another bastard half-brother came into the mix for plans of a rebellion started to show true promise. The half-brother was Aegor Rivers, nicknamed Bittersteel. Bittersteel had a true grudge against King Darren and their other half-brother, Brandon Rivers, who in the books is the three-eyed raven training Bran. Bittersteel's mother was one of Aegon the Unworthy's mistresses, but she was a bit more ambitious. There were plans being made to try and make her the new queen when Queen Daenerys was still alive. Darren forced his father to send her away along with Bittersteel. Bittersteel and his mother were replaced by a new mistress who had another bastard with Aegon, and that child was Brandon Rivers. He was raised at the Red Keep while Bittersteel was thrown out. Growing up at court is a huge advantage for when they grow older. They will already have connections and friends in powerful places. To make matters worse, when all the bastards did grow up, Brandon and Bittersteel fell in love with their half-sister, Shiera Seastar, and she chose Brandon. Years would go by and Darren was proving to be a great king, earning the nickname Darren the Good. Daemon Blackfyre and Rowan of Tyrosh were just popping out babies. They had 7 sons and an unknown amount of daughters. Daemon agreed to marry his eldest daughter, Kala, to the angry Bittersteel. Bittersteel's mother and family was disgraced by Darren, while Brandon's mother was loved. All the people that tried to sway Daemon to rebel, but somehow, after 12 years of Darren being king, Aegor convinced Daemon to go to war against their other 2 half-brothers. This was the first Blackfyre rebellion of many to come. There was some battles fought across Westeros, but the rebellion ended with the Battle of the Redgrass Field. 10,000 men died here, including Daemon Blackfyre and his twin sons, Aegon and Aemon. Bittersteel took the Valyrian sword Blackfyre and the Blackfyre family and fled to Tyrosh and Essos to fight again another day. The twins Aegon and Aemon died at age 12, and their younger brother Daemon Blackfyre II predicted it. Targaryen blood is filled with magic. They can control dragons, and the few have been known to have dragon dreams. These are prophetic dreams or visions of the future that can be literal or metaphorical. Daemon II had this power. He was bullied by his older twin brothers, but still he warned them, only to have them laugh at him. He would have another prophetic dream that a dragon would be born at White Walls, the castle of House Butterwell in the Riverlands. There were still some Blackfyre supporters in Westeros, so Daemon II sailed to gather them up. Bittersteel did not back him, however, and let him go without the Valyrian sword Blackfyre. George Martin confirms that Daemon II was gay, so this taboo may be why Bittersteel didn't follow him. House Butterwell would host a wedding tourney with a dragon egg as a prize to disguise what the lords were truly meeting for. Daemon went under the name Sir John the Fiddler. During the wedding, John the Fiddler comes across Duncan the Tall. He informs him of another dream he had of him becoming one of the King's Guard and tries to get him to join him. This all takes place in the short story The Mystery Knight by George Martin. Brandon Rivers, who's hand of the king now, had a spy at the wedding tourney and found everything out before any battle even happened. But Daemon II already lost everyone's respect when he lost a trial by combat by someone who was being tortured. The trial was a joust, and he landed in the mud after the first tilt and was called the Brown Dragon. Brandon Rivers, or Bloodraven, along with an army, stopped the Second Rebellion before it even went anywhere. Daemon II challenged Bloodraven to a trial by combat, but he refused and had him arrested instead. He kept him alive as a hostage so Bittersteel wouldn't try another rebellion with any other Blackfyre sons. Daemon didn't survive the imprisonment very long, however. One thing you can say about House Blackfyre and Bittersteel is that they are not quitters. 8 years after the Second Rebellion, Bittersteel crowned Daemon's 4th son, Haegon, as king, starting a 3rd rebellion. Not a lot of details has been written about this rebellion, but we know that this was an actual war, unlike the Second Rebellion. Bloodraven was pretty much calling all the shots in King's Landing, and a lot of people were not a fan of him. This aided Haegon's side, but still the rebellion ended in failure. Haegon was killed after he surrendered and Bittersteel was captured. Bloodraven wanted him killed, but King Aerys I allowed him to be sent to the Wall. Before he made it up north, he escaped back to Tyrosh. A few times in this story's history, it isn't clear who should be the next king, and a great council was called in 233 AC to decide who should rule. While in exile, Aenys rode to King's Landing for his claim. Bloodraven allowed him to present his claim in person, but when Aenys arrived in King's Landing, Bloodraven had him beheaded. His decapitated head was shown to lords of the Great Council as a warning to remain loyal and not support any more Blackfyre rebellions. It seemed like this threat worked, since few lords would join the Blackfyres in the future. Haegon did manage to have children before he died. The only one named is Daemon III. Bittersteel would try for a fourth rebellion, but this time with way less support. Bittersteel formed a sellsword company while in Essos called the Golden Company, which became pretty renowned. The small war ended with Duncan the Tall, who was now in the Kingsguard, killing Daemon III, and it wouldn't be a Blackfyre rebellion without Bittersteel escaping. This would be his last time. While fighting with his Golden Company in Essos, he died in battle. 24 years later, a Blackfyre named Meleys would start his own rebellion. He killed his own cousin, another Daemon Blackfyre, for command of the Golden Company. Meleys and this random Daemon are both Blackfyres. Who they descend from isn't mentioned. Meleys had the nickname the Monstrous. To take command, Meleys killed Daemon's horse with a single punch and then twisted his cousin's head off with his bare hands. A true monster. His mother was expecting twins, but while in the womb, Meleys supposedly ate his twin, and to this day has a small fetus attached to his neck as a deformity. He also has a huge and unproportional upper body, giving him abnormal strength. Meleys allied with some others from Essos, who all wanted to help each other with their own goals. Sir Barristan Selmy fought Meleys in single combat, where he killed the monster, ending the war. Meleys the Monstrous was the last surviving male in the Blackfyre family, making them extinct. No other rebellions from the female line ever happened, but in the books, it's widely believed young Griff is of Blackfyre descent. He could even end up being king with things going the way they are. And now, I'm out of breath. Damn, that was a long one to make, so I hope you enjoyed it. My last family tree was on House Tyrell, which had a lot of characters cut from the show. If you want to see that, there's a link on your screen that you can click or tap on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.